Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another weekly analysis review. We saw some interesting risk-off moves on late on Friday, which seemed a bit manufactured in nature. And when you see moves like these, it's always a good idea to give at least a day's sort of um, room and breathing space just to see how the market reacts on the following week. And we saw price gaps to begin with when the market opened this morning, but some news has come out, and the moves we saw on Friday have pretty much completely reversed. So we're looking at risk on now in the market for the moment. So risk on obviously means selling yen, selling Swiss pairs, selling gold, buying equities, and buying risk assets and risk currencies such as the Aussie and Kiwi. Now let's start with the dollar index. Um, if you zoom into the daily chart here, this was that big risk off move on Friday. Well, during risk off and risk on moves, the dollar tends to get caught in the middle, so there's no sort of clear pattern in terms of the dollar's definitely going to go make this move if it's risk off or risk on. And following the news today, we can see a bounce back up from buyers. If you go to the 4-hour chart, if price stays around these sort of levels, then we could possibly see a move back down, and then quickly follow that on with the euro, which is obviously going to be the opposite move. This was the move up as dollar got sold on Friday, and this is the move today. Move down to the 4-hour. If we stay above this sort of resistance level, then there is a potential push back to the upside here. Next up is Aussie dollar. So if we zoom out on the daily chart, um, following that move down on Friday, we see, if we go to the 1-hour chart, we can see market gapped, which looks like an exhaustion gap now following this move up this morning. So we're back in risk on mode. So market gap, final push by sellers before a big bounce back up. Daily chart looking at a potential double bottom now, and so if risk on sentiment continues, the safest way to trade Aussie, and it is buying Aussie. So if you zoom out a little bit here, we clearly can see this sort of consolidation level here. Look for a clean break and then take the first retest, ideally on the 4-hour chart. If you want to be a bit more aggressive, if you see a pullback now on the 1-hour and a shallow sort of retracement, sort of these levels, then there is a possibility of a push from up from here. Next up is New Zealand dollar. Similar sort of movement to the Aussie. We've been hovering around this sort of lower trend line for a while. If we zoom in onto the 4-hour chart, any sort of clean break above this level, and there is a potential to buy on lower time frames this week. Pound dollar. Now, pound has been slowly moving up last week. We have broken trend. We have broken the previous daily high here, so it is no longer in a downtrend. It's still in a no trend, but definitely not in a downtrend. And if we mark out this level here, if we stay above this level here, then there is a potential for another push to the upside. A break down below here, and then as sellers could take control again. Dollar CAD. So this is the monthly R2 here. And the yearly pivot is around the 1.3180 level here. So we are trapped in between at the moment. A push up from here, and we could see a little bit more upside before another move down. Otherwise, if you see any intraday sell setups, look to target the yearly pivot first, which is at 1.3180. Otherwise, just wait for a clean break below, and then take the first retest. If you just look on the weekly chart, just as a reminder, we had this strong phase one move down. This is a lower high. We have broken the previous lows, and so this is looking like a phase two move downtrend, and so there's a potential that we're close to reverting back into a weekly phase one to the downside. Next up is dollar Swiss. So risk on means sell Swiss pairs. You can see this if you actually go on the smaller time frame. You can see this move on Friday and a bounce back up. If it stays above these levels, then look for intraday buy setups on the smaller time frames. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, there was a strong support around this sort of region here, which is around the 104.70 region. If you look on a smaller time frame, we can see this is the move on Friday. This was the risk-off move. Got exhaustion gap, final move down, and then a strong push up today. So this is looking like the final sort of move to the downside, and we could potentially be looking at a change in trend. So the safest way to actually trade this is if we see a break of this level, then look for the first retest to buy. On the 1 hour, again, it could go, if you want to be a bit more aggressive, as long as it stays above these sort of levels, look for a shallow pullback and then a move to the upside. Okay, that's the majors done. Let's look at the cross pairs. Euro Aussie. Friday we saw that move up, and is looking like a possible continuation of this uptrend here. And today we see this large seller's candle forming. So if we drop down to the 1 hour, I meant had price stayed above this level, this sort of level, then we could have seen a continuation of the move to the upside. But looking at the move now, probably see a shallow pullback before another move down, and similar on Euro Kiwi. So we look on the daily. Again, this is now starting to look like a double top formation. So possible sort of, I would wait until a good reversal confirmation of the 4 hour, possibly around this sort of level, head and shoulders. Draw that again. Possible head and shoulders before another move down. Euro CAD, very messy, so we'll move on. Euro Swiss. So we in a clear downtrend, hitting monthly S2 pivot now. It is consolidating, so there could be a possible sort of opportunity to buy now, and a potential move to the upside on this pair. Euro Pound, we're already seeing sellers coming strongly from here. I would say if you move down to the 4 hour, to continue look for sell setups. So we're coming back to this resistance levels here. So if price stays below this level, sellers come back in, then look for another push to the downside. Move on to the pound pairs. So pound Aussie, currently in a daily uptrend. As we can see, this large seller's candle could signal a move back down now, a phase two move back. So down to over here where we could then see another move back to the upside. Pound CAD, this was similar to pound dollar, where we have now broken the previous high here. So we're in no trend. And if you move down to the 4-hour, price stays above here, then look for a move to the upside. Otherwise, a break below, and then sellers take more control. Pound Swissy, still in a daily downtrend. There is a potential for another move down before a move back up. Pound Kiwi, similar to the pound Aussie. This move could now be turning. This move could now have come to a halt, and we're starting to see a turnaround in price. So look for a move down. Let's look at the yen pairs. So Aussie yen, again, we got a risk on sentiment, so yen selling, which means these charts should be moving in this direction. So if you go on the 4-hour, I would wait for a clean break of this level before looking to buy. CAD yen, again, similar sort of movement across the yen charts. Safest buy entry should be above this consolidation level. Swiss yen, not a big fan of this pair, as during risk on, risk off, the yen and the Swissy tend to move in the same direction, so we'll move on. Euro yen, we have seen a bounce back, clean break of this level, and then look for intraday buy setups. Pound yen, so if you go on to the daily chart, I would wait for a break of this level before looking to buy. We're still in an area where it could go either direction, so wait for that level and then look for the first retest. And New Zealand yen, if you go to the 4-hour, wait for this consolidation level, a break of this consolidation level, and then look for the first retest to buy. Aussie CAD, look at the daily chart. We can see it was in a downtrend and looking to consolidate now. So I would wait for a break of this level before looking to buy. Aussie Swiss, similar sort of movement. We were in a downtrend, consolidation, drop down to a 4-hour, look for a level of resistance, wait for the price to break, and then look for the first retest. Aussie Kiwi, no interest in this chart, tend to be moving in. Currently, Aussie is outpacing Kiwi, but no interest in the chart. CAD Swiss, so it's quite messy. Let's see if there's any. I would say a break above this sort of level and then look for buys. Otherwise, just move on to a cleaner chart. New Zealand CAD, downtrend, possible sort of slowdown in price, and we could see a move to the upside from here. New Zealand Swiss, again, similarly, strong move, consolidation, and look for buy setups. If you go on the 4-hour, this is the area. Wait for this price to break this area, and then look for the first retest. Next to look at is gold. So we have hit a strong resistance level here. We've seen this final, looking like a final push up. So this was the move on Friday. If we're in risk on mode, then gold is sold in risk on periods. So in terms of if there are sell opportunities, you can be aggressive and wait for a break below this level on the 1-hour. and target this support region here. But personally, I would wait for a clean break of this level here before looking to sell gold. And in risk on mode or periods of risk on sentiment, we see equities getting bought. And looking at the US indices, we're looking at a potential triple bottom over here. So a little bit more work to do before looking to buy on smaller time frames. So that is the Dow Jones, US 30, S&P. You can see similar sort of pattern. Nasdaq as well. If you look at the DAX, again, that this is potentially looking like an inverted head and shoulders pattern. So, but a little bit more work to do before we can confirm this reversal pattern. Okay, guys, that is it for me this week. I hope you have a profitable week. As always, happy and safe trading.